What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Jared's Books. I am Jared, and man, stoked on this Sunday, coming down off of a pretty good caffeine buzz that I got this morning, and knocked out a huge chunk of writing. And I'm really excited because I think I'm about 90% of the way done with my first novel. It's well over 100,000 words now, so it's cooking. I've already done one edit all the way up to this point, so I could keep it moving fluidly, and it's just real exciting. So I'll be posting a lot of videos on going through the publishing process once that starts. But let's jump into some books. This is it. This is everything I've read for 2025 so far. We're at 19 books, and that's a lot more than I thought I was going to read. I thought I was going to read like one a month, but some were shorter, some were better. So I ripped through them and just wanted to give a quick rundown of everything I went through. So let's jump in. If this stack falls during the video, I'm going to let it fall and we can all laugh, and then I'll cut it out. I started off the year with what would become easily one of my top 5 reads I've ever read in my entire life, and that is going to be Truman Capote's In Cold Blood. It follows, it's based on a true story, follows Truman Capote covering a horrific murder of a family in Kansas. And the prose in this book, Truman Capote's prose, are second to none. Um, it's absolutely fantastic. This it's a transformative experience reading it. You're actually you're put in Kansas. You're following around these two murderers. You're following around Truman Capote as he's in Kansas interviewing people, and you're following some of the crime scene details, and you're reliving the actual crime. Um, some of it's horrific and disturbing, but the book it's so good. I can't recommend it enough. I rated it very highly. This is one of my top 5s. So you should definitely check it out. And all of Truman Capote's books were not that good. Other Voices, Other Rooms is over there. That may have been a read this year or at the end of last year, now that I think about it. But it wasn't nearly as good. All right. I'm not going to go in any kind of order, I guess, because some of these books are all out of whack. Between Two Fires, I just finished this a couple weeks ago, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago. This was a big stinker. This book got a lot of praise on the internet. I think it's from the absolute badass cover photo. This wasn't good. The guy put in a lot of work for it, so I don't want to discredit Christopher Buhlman on this. He did a lot of research, you could tell, about French Renaissance, weaponry, landscapes, the plague, everything like that. You can tell it's very well researched. I think he did a good job there. The style of writing, the linear flow of the story isn't good, and the characters seemed really kitsch, cliche, not a lot of development, and it kind of reads like the Arya Stark Hound story from Game of Thrones. So I wouldn't recommend this one. It's cool cover art. I mean, it's badass. I mean, it's pretty cool. All right, The Art Thief by Michael Finkel. This book was great. I don't think it was like a stellar work or a moving piece of literature by any means, but it was a fun tale, true story of a an art thief that had a crazy, possibly legit clinical diagnosis of obsessive compulsive disorder to steal artwork. And everything that he went through, his chance at redemption. I don't want to blow too much of it, but he does end up blowing it. There's a love story involved with it. It's great, and it's a quick read. I knocked this out in like 2 days. It's great. I recommend this one highly. The Art Thief. If you like art, romance, that kind of thing, this is a really good book. You should definitely read it. This is probably worth another read, actually, now that I think about it. I really enjoyed it. All right, we can't get into that one, so we go on the first one. All right, a little bit of nonfiction. Midnight in Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham. This is covering the Chernobyl meltdown. This one took a little bit longer to get through because there is a lot of scientific breakdowns in this one. But Adam Higginbotham does a great job at breaking this down in layman's terms that you can actually understand and grasp the concept and absolute power of nuclear fusion. It's haunting. At times, it was depressing. It was very depressing. I actually had to take a break from it and read something else because you're reading about what happened to a lot of the first responders, to a lot of the townspeople. It was terrible. I don't think unless you uh, research it and read into it, I don't think anyone realizes how bad that disaster was. And Adam Higginbotham does a wonderful job of this. This is a really good nonfiction if you're looking to, you know, gain some knowledge. Oh man, this one. Ben Farthing's I Found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls. This was the worst book I have ever read in my life. Um, I hate saying it like that, but it just was. As someone who's writing a novel, I mean, someone might think that about my book. I guess I don't care because everyone has their own opinions. This guy's obviously making money. There's a whole series of these. Obviously, again, it's like it's great cover art, which is getting people to buy the book because I mean, Between Two Fires was like it was literature. It was a story. Some people really liked it. This is a piece of shit. Like when they show the Jurassic Park, like the giant piece of shit, this book was in the center of it next to a giant dinosaur peanut. This thing is trash. I definitely don't recommend it. Stoner by John Williams. It's hard to not put this in my top five because I'm such a prose fan. Hope this thing didn't just run out of battery. Um, this is just a story about a guy's life. Nothing Nothing crazy happens. And this is one of my favorite books I have ever read. The prose in this is breathtakingly beautiful. It's eloquent, it's romantic, it's sad, it's moving, it's emotional. This book, I can't recommend this one enough. I read this about last month. The only thing I will say is the format, this format that you can see, this paperback that's on Amazon. Look at how it's like a PDF file. Whoever formatted this book and published it ought to be arrested because you're doing this book a disservice to present it in this fashion. I mean, look, the wording even runs up on the spine, but I I can't recommend this one enough. It I might have to redo my top five books. This is easily top 10. This is absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough. He has another book out there too. It's like a more like a Western thing. Now there's a gnat flying around in here. What the hell's going on in here today? All right. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I have a love-hate relationship with spiritual self-help books. Um, Everyone has anxiety. I get it. From time to time, I think it's something that's natural that comes in phases and people experience. And everyone wants to, be a better person and have a more positive outlook on life. Eckhart Tolle did a good job in this, but these books can backfire on you. So if you're looking at a like from someone who suffers from like anxiety and panic attacks, if you're looking for this as like some kind of cure to help you through it, these kind of books can backfire on your ass and get you thinking too much and can actually exacerbate your issues that you're having. Or for personal experience, that's what happened to me. Um, this was a good book though, but it's the same shit that all of them say, and I'm actually starting to think it's a gimmick. It's a niche, and it's playing on people's weaknesses. And some of these people, I think, are charlatans selling snake oil. So be wary. Read them. Take it with a grain of salt. It can help. It did make me have a more positive outlook, and then it didn't. And they all seem to do that. So be wary. Oh man, what is there to say? Frank Herbert's Dune. This book was great. This was a good read. This was a hard read though. The way that they structured kind of the way the book went, it read almost like a script. It was extremely dialogue heavy to the point where it became dizzying and disorienting. But your brain starts to assimilate and to drop in and fall in line with different authors' style of writing, and it happens in this one. This was a really good book. This is one of my favorite science fictions. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it was a really good book. Dune was really good. Lots of drama in it, so it's like a really good soap opera. So It's worth a read. Like if you're a book enthusiast, definitely check out Dune. That being said, Dune 2, Messiah. This one was packed with drama. It was really good. I got into this one a little bit more than I did the first one. I haven't read the third book of Dune, Children of Dune, yet. Definitely going to get around to it. You just have to be in the mood for this style of writing because it's older. You know, this stuff was published a long time ago, so it's definitely kind of got an old world feel to it. But fantastic. I definitely recommend the Dune books, or at least 1 and 2 so far. To a God Unknown by John Steinbeck. John Steinbeck is my favorite author so far, even though I'm having some issues with one of his works right now. To a God Unknown is shocking. It's a tale of a man moving to a farm, starts to kind of practice some old pagan practices. A lot of John Steinbeck's books play back and forth with Christian tales, good versus evil. This is kind of like a paganism versus Christianity thing, and the wrath of God that can come with it. It's this one is haunting. It's unsettling. It's really good. Again, this format, this by Penguin Publishing, they're not doing John Steinbeck any justice. You cram a bunch of words and on a page, it makes it not enjoyable. But this is a fantastic book. I highly recommend it. Fingerprints of the Gods, Graham Hancock. I had to see what all the buzz is about. Graham Hancock has drummed up a lot of notoriety based around his hypothesis that an ancient civilization was actually very well advanced pre-Ice Age, going into the Ice Age and shortly afterwards. And come to find out, it's not even his theory. If you actually look into it and do your homework on it, it's not his theory. He's just kind of regurgitating. I read this a while back, and I've kind of erased a lot of it from my mind. There are some pretty cool things in here about civilization, some pretty cool facts. The theory is interesting. The way that he puts it, though, is very pretentious. It's like he's trying too hard. He might be another charlatan, too. I liked the book. It was a long read. It was a lot to digest. It was a lot to absorb. So, I don't know, 50-50 on this one. It was pretty cool. There was some interesting stuff. I just have a hard time with Graham Hancock. I think he's passing off someone's hypothesis as his own, and that's how I feel about it. Tripped by Norman Ohler, Nazi Germany, the CIA, and the Dawn of the Psychedelic Age. This was a great book. It goes into more about how LSD and acid played such a huge part in post Germany World War II, post Europe World War II, and the inventions of LSD and its effects on the medical industry. And Norman Ohler does a great job of giving you the facts about the discovery of LSD and its involvement in World War II and post World War II and Nazi Germany. But he also talks about like his mother's struggle with Alzheimer's and her effects with taking LSD to try to combat those effects. It's definitely worth a read. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. It's one of the fastest reads of the year. This is a nonstop. This is the definition of a page turner. The structure, the format of Blake Crouch's writing, you can't help but read it fast. You can't help but to not put it down. It's a cinematic kind of read. If you can hear my son out there screaming, sorry about it. It is what it is. This was a fantastic book. I read this book in 2 days. Like I did nothing but read this book. We were even on our family vacation in the hotel room. Kids were at the pool, and I was reading the book. It was absolutely fantastic. Guy goes back in, doesn't go back in time. Kind of gets like transferred to like a different universe of himself, and has to go through a bunch of different multiverses to try to get back to his family. And then there's like a duplicity, like the the infinite universe theory starts kicking in. This book is a wild ride of time travel, interdimensional travel, like family rescue kind of thing. Like, definitely check it out. This is a badass book. This is a great book. Speaking of badass books, this one's one of my top fives, if not my number 2 favorite book I have ever read. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. This book is about a guy who goes back in time to prevent the Kennedy assassination because it was a watershed moment in history that could have like a butterfly effect on the rest of history. So it's a period piece because he goes back to the the late 50s and stays all the way up until the Kennedy assassination. And he falls in love with a woman. And back when he goes back in time, it's their love story. It's his story tracking and following Lee Harvey Oswald, the events of the Kennedy assassination, and crazy stuff that happens afterwards. I just got goosebumps. This has an absolute fairy tale romantic ending that is second to none. This is one of the best books I have ever read in my entire life. Might be my number 2 book. It's absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10. I cannot recommend this one enough. 11/22/63, Stephen King. The rest are nothing but Stephen King. In case you can't see the stack, I like to read a Stephen King, read something else, read a Stephen King. It's just his storytelling and his characters are such a feel-good base for me for reading that I always go and come back. I think the longest I've gone is like I've read 2 novels and then go back to a Stephen King. Cujo. Dog gets bit by bat. Dog gets rabies. Dog goes on rampage. It's a lot more than that. This book has some of the best characters. Let's see. Out of all the Stephen King I've read so far. And it's more manageable. It's a shorter book. There aren't as many characters. Sometimes I think Stephen King throws in too many characters. Even though I gave it a 10 out of 10, it's an absolute magnum opus. There's a lot of characters in there. It's a lot to follow. It's a couple families. The family drama that goes on in this it's crazy. It's deep. This book, though, I'm warning you, with no spoilers, those of you that have children, this book is so heavy. You better prepare yourself. It's gonna get hard to read. Okay, but this is a fantastic book. It's just very heavy, not depressing. It's heavy. It's unsettling. But a great book. And now to my most commented on YouTube video I have ever done. My review of Stephen King's Duma. Hear me out because I got the most feedback from everybody on this one. I liked the book. I liked 75% of the book. I really liked the characters. These were, again, fantastic Stephen King characters, some of my favorite. I did not like the way he ended this book. Not just the ending, but leading up to the ending. The last 80% of this book was way, way, way out of left field for Stephen King. And everyone that reads him know that he can go off in left field real fucking fast. This took it to the next level. There was just too much going on. It felt like he didn't know how he wanted to end the book. Like, what element of supernatural horror did he want to end? It just it didn't do it for me. And I really like the characters. Like I really like the wireman character. I really like the main character. Their relationship was really cool, and it wasn't a short read at all. So like when I got to the last third or last quarter of it, I'm like, what the fuck? Because it wasn't that great. Now I'm sure I'm going to hear it now. Revival. This was my most recent Stephen King read. This one is a sleeper Stephen King novel. I don't see this one getting a lot of reviews online. I don't see it getting a lot of reviews anywhere or talked about. It's a fantastic book. Fantastic. He goes off in left field on the ending on this one. But it's really cool. It's completely original. It's fucking wild. This story is about a preacher comes to town in Maine, a young guy, has a tragic loss, and then develops an obsession with electricity and what electricity can do. And he goes around and he's curing people's ailments and things like that through some like tent revivals. The main character goes through a drug abuse problem and getting clean. He's the main character is also a pretty successful musician in the rock and roll industry. So there's a cool rock and roll element in this one too. If you really like the music industry, I love music, classical rock and roll, and hit the history that's with it. So if you like that, you'll really like this. And the ending in this one, with what this guy does with electricity, what he's planning on doing with it, what he wants to see it do, is wild. You won't look at the afterlife the same after reading this. I can promise you, because if that is waiting for us in the afterlife, you need to stay alive. Unsettling as shit. Needful Things by Stephen King. This book was really good. I think it was really long for what it was, but it was really good. So in Needful Things, a mysterious guy comes to town. He opens up a peculiarities kind of antique shop, and he has everything that you want. And not only that, it does everything that you want. Whatever you want. And he doesn't want any money. He just wants a favor in return. That favor is getting you or the people that he's selling to play pranks, but they're not like nice pranks, on the other townspeople. It causes the entire town to turn on itself. There is absolute chaos that ensues. The guy that ends up running the shop becomes a crazy entity. This book is wild. Wild ride. It's long, but it's good. It's nuts. Needful Things, definitely recommend this one. Stephen King's Pet Sematary. People put this as some of his best work. I don't think so. I don't think it was. This book was so effing depressing that it was hard to get through. But maybe that was what the goal was. This book was terrifying in a depressing, question your own mortality kind of way. Guy moves to a town, takes over a job as like the main doctor kind of guy at a college campus. The house he moves into backs up to like a field that they explore. They go through it, and it goes to like some old Indian burial ground kind of thing. And what gets put in there comes back to life. So other things have come back to life. Other people have experimented with people before coming back not so nice. The family cat comes back not so nice. And then some absolutely terrible shit happens to this guy's family, his friends, and the ending in this one's wild. There's like a crazy there's a crazy creature or something, like old Indian folklore creature. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It's dread. I guess dread, real dread is the best way I can put this one. So if you're looking to get bummed out and you're looking to think a lot about death, read this book, because it was I was reading this back on a flight and I was like, holy shit, I gotta stop. Okay, so what am I currently reading? I was reading John Steinbeck's East of Eden, because I like to read something like kind of thriller, kind of like new to the times, and then I like to do a classic piece of literature and then go back to Stephen King. So I was going to do John Steinbeck's East of Eden. This is my third time reading this book. The other two times, the first time I read it, I was a very high 15-year-old lifeguard, and I liked it. I just don't know if I retained a lot of that knowledge. Second time I read it, I was a really drunk, kind of like late 20s. So I'm pretty sure I don't really remember a lot of it. And now, like as a writer, like I consider myself a writer because I'm almost through my first novel. It's great writing. It's great prose. Nobody paints a landscape like John Steinbeck from East of Eden. This one's about a couple different families moving to the Salinas Valley, where a lot of John Steinbeck's novels take place. He brings landscapes to life. Again, this is kind of the old story of Cain and Abel. Other people have kind of said this is one of the most pretentious books of all time. I have to agree. Reading, I guess, the first third of it so far, it's I've read every John Steinbeck novel, all of them. And I've read a lot of them multiple times because I like them so much. My all-time favorite book is Travels with Charlie in Search of America, which is a memoir of his. I am not enjoying this as an adult. It's good writing, but it seems like, when you see someone trying too hard, it doesn't seem genuine. It's coming across as trying too hard. It's really good though. It's really good. I don't want to take away from that, but it's like pushy, like trying to be too good, even though it is too good. So it's like, oh man, I really like it, but you're trying to make it really good. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Also, again, the Penguin formatting, man, you're not doing anybody any favors by squeezing all this shit, all these words onto one page. It makes it it slows it down. It's already a slow read. It's already a super slow read, and you're slowing it down even more. So I took a break because I really like John Steinbeck and the effect I get from his novels. And for some reason, this is tarnishing. This third read of it is tarnishing uh, like my outlook on a lot of it. And I don't like that because I think Travels with Charlie, like his depiction of America, traveling across America with his dog in a memoir is, and his observations of people and places it's some of the best writing ever. And if you think differently, you're an idiot and we won't get along. That's just how it is. So I took a break from it and I ordered Michael Crichton's Sphere. And I started reading this today, actually, and I really like it. I really like the formatting. I really like the hand feel of the book, which my wife, when it came in the mail, I'm like, oh man, check it out. See how it feels? Like, look at the font. That, as you read more and more, makes a bigger deal. It has a bigger impact into your overall reading experience. If the book is uncomfortable and the font is uncomfortable, and the formatting on how they publish the actual physical format of the novel is not good, it affects your experience. This book feels great. The font's great. So far, I know it's a movie. I saw the movie when I was like young, probably like 11 or 12, or like when it came out in the early mid 90s. So I don't remember any of it. So I'm reading it all for the first time. It reads cinematic. It's really good so far. I'm only like 50 pages in, but I really enjoy it. And he's jumping like right into like aliens kind of thing. So cool stuff. So that's where we're at. We're 20 read. We're reading 2 more, so we're at 22. I'm almost positive that I read Other Voices, Other Rooms by Truman Capote, which was a big stinker, and it was all over the place. It was bad composition. It's about a younger boy moving to the South kind of thing. If you like that whole like South kind of thing, like, it has its place, but whatever. Yeah. Other books that I'm going to read, I have Red Rising up there. I started reading like 20 pages of it, but then stopped. Everybody goes on and on about the Red Rising series, so I'll have to read it, especially since I like so much like science fiction, space, and horror, and suspense, and thrillers. I got to read it. So let me know what you thought on some of these books. Hopefully, this might help you pick out your next read. I wanted to go through it as quick as possible, and I definitely just wanted to touch base because it'd been a while since I posted a video, and that's because I got completely sidelined with this East of Eden third read. It kind of sucked all the inspiration out of me, and that's where we're at. I'm going to go make some burgers. Thanks for stopping by. Keep reading. Talk soon.